866 907 2647 در تماس شوید.
آریانا افغانستان یگانه شبکه تلویزیونی ملی افغانها در خارج از کشور.
This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Business Advisors 101. Today is May 19th, 2014.
It sure is.
It sure it is. We were just too excited.
Today is Monday, right?
Yes, today is Monday. Olive?
Good evening. I'm Olive.
You're Olive, for sure. Anyway, so we're going to start with the Money Watch. Olive, it seems like last week some of the viewers might have seen that the stock market seemed like it was in a zigzag. It was kind of flat, and actually it was down for a while. So it looks like the market is kind of tired based on what I was reading, and the investors are somehow concerned about the valuation of the stock market. So that's why some people are kind of like hesitant about putting new money into the indexes or into this to the stocks. So that's just basically a quick update on the market. But we'll go ahead and talk about some business headlines. So go ahead, Olive. You have a couple of things.
Some of the things that that's up this morning. This week they've been talking about is that AT&T is planning to buy a DirecTV for $49 billion.
That is true. That's the headline that just came out over the weekend. So this is a big, huge deal, but it has to be approved by the regulators, and they're going to basically dissect this whole deal to make sure that it makes sense for the consumers. Because, as you know, when there's the limited choices, less competition, that means usually higher prices. So that's what the regulators usually don't like to see that. So this deal is going to probably go through a lot of scrutiny, and they're going to dissect it to make sure it makes sense. So who knows? At the end of the day, maybe the deal will go through, but it's going to probably take at least 12 months or so before it becomes finalized.
It is AT&T. Anything's possible.
Sure it is.
Well, how about the Credit Suisse is expecting to pay $2.5 billion in fines to the Justice Department and bank regulators?
Yeah, well, as you know, we've been talking about on the show that that for some reason after the financial crisis, the banks keep paying fines. So in this case, Credit Suisse was charged for helping U.S. clients or investors to evade taxes, meaning not paying taxes. So as of, for instance, 2006 report, more than 22,000 U.S. customers had accounts in Switzerland. So, but they don't know how many of these accounts actually did something wrong. But it just shows that the U.S. regulators or the Justice Department is very serious about these kind of situations. So that's why they went after Credit Suisse, and they're saying, you know what, you helped certain U.S. clients to take their money, and in this way they avoided paying taxes. So they're really becoming very serious about the situation. But there's one problem, we found out, is because Swiss has very strict banking laws. So they don't like to share the account holders' information. So if the U.S. regulators are asking the Swiss banks to share who the account holder is, they're saying, well, sorry, we can't share that because it's against their privacy laws.
As we know, most of our Afghans from other countries, they keep their money in Swiss.
Swiss, I think in their case, probably it's in Dubai, probably from what I know, yeah. Maybe some of them are in Swiss, but who knows?
Yeah.
Well,
you know, more than anything, you know, when you give me this this report today, all I was looking was at Las Vegas.
Yes, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
Yeah. So what happened with Vegas, as we all know, after the financial crisis in 2008, which Las Vegas took a big hit in terms of tourism, conventions, and real estate, right?
Yes, yeah, in terms of real estate and conventions and all of that stuff. So yes, Vegas was one of the hard hit, you know, in terms of the big cities because they rely so much on convention dollars and also the value of the real estate and stuff like that, and tourism, of course. But last week, the largest private equity firm actually invested about $1.7 billion in cash in buying Cosmopolitan Hotel and Resort from Deutsche Bank. So this was a huge transaction, and this firm also invested about buying about 1,000 single-family homes and a big, huge office building. So what that tells us that investors are starting to see value in Las Vegas, and they're putting their money because they feel like Vegas seems like it's turning around after the financial crisis. Now I have some numbers for you. On March 2014, as of March 2014, they had 3.7 million visitors. So that was actually the highest monthly total ever. So that was huge. And hotel occupancy rate was about 90%, which is very good. Anytime you're at 90% or close to 90%, that's always great. And so it leaves, and it also, they were saying that the hotel rates, how much you're paying for the rooms, were basically at the same rate as they were during the pre-recession time, so before around 2008. Yes. And so, and the total revenue from the Las Vegas Strip was about $15.5 billion in 2013, up from 2012. So all of this stuff is good for...
Maybe that's why they're doing so good, that actually Las Vegas just purchased a big resort, right?
Oh yeah, that was one of the investors that bought that resort, the Cosmopolitan. But they're saying there's probably going to be some more transactions going forward. So you're going to probably see some other investors buying some big chunks of real estate in Vegas.
It's hard to believe that Vegas is not doing good ever, because every time you go, it's packed.
Well, it's always like, seems like, oh yeah. So the next discussion topic is a discussion that always goes on, I think, among our viewers probably, and it's rent versus buying a house.
What works for you, right?
Yeah, it's different for everybody, right?
Different, yeah. Well, you know, it's hard to, it's a tough topic to talk about, because you know, we always talk about purchasing a home.
Yes.
It makes sense. I mean, I'm a big believer to own your home instead of renting. But then we found some updated information that might even be true for a lot of people. It might make more sense for them to rent than own. And you came up with some good reasons and examples.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, actually, because as you can see, when you rent, one of the biggest advantages of renting is like you don't pay property taxes, homeowner insurance, and there's no cost of maintenance. And plus, you're free to roam around. So so basically, if you have a job that tells you that you have to kind of move around, you know, every 12 months or whatever it is, so in that case, it might not make sense to buy a house, you know. But when you're renting, you have that flexibility.
And when you're renting, you're basically paying someone else's mortgage. So
yeah, it's
you gotta
true.
think about it that way too.
So, but the key is like if we look at certain, like let's look at California, for instance, right? In certain cities or states, when they did the study, it actually makes more sense to rent versus buy, because the cost of purchasing a home is so high that for an individual investor or somebody that's planning to buy a house, it can cost a lot of money. We live in California and we know what's going on here.
Absolutely.
So let's look at Oakland East Bay, right? So for every dollar that you buy, let's say you spend to buy a house, a renter will pay 50 cents. So that means in this case, the renter is better off than basically purchasing a house. But once again, it goes back to what you said. everybody has a different situation, different needs, so you have to look at it by case-by-case situation. But let's look at Orange County in Los Angeles. For every dollar that somebody pays to buy a house, a renter pays about 56 cents towards that towards the rent. And Sacramento, it's about 88 cents for the rent for each dollar that somebody pays towards purchasing a house. Riverside is about 95 cents. And some other cities, like in Atlanta, it actually makes more sense to buy a house than rent, because I lived in Atlanta for 20 years, and from what I see, that it probably makes sense that actually a renter pays about $1.34 for every dollar that somebody ends up purchasing a house. In this case, so it makes more sense to buy a house in Atlanta. And the same goes in some other cities like Orlando, Cleveland, St. Louis, and Chicago. And Las Vegas is actually, we just talked about Las Vegas. They're saying Las Vegas is actually perhaps renting might be a better option because home prices have jumped since where they were 2-3 years ago.
Well, I'm thinking instead of, if you're going very often to Vegas, instead of renting a room in hotels, probably have a rent house.
Yeah, if you have investor property or something like that. But that's basically it is. And also I just was reading something about, I thought quickly to mention about Walmart. I mentioned to you, a lot of our viewers actually go to Walmart, but one of the things that I saw that Walmart's profits have actually fell about 5% from a year ago, and the main reason is that because they're still saying that the main economy, or the economy for the people, the low income people, or the middle class, they still haven't fully recovered from the recession. So Walmart usually tracks the middle class or the low income individuals from the community, but it looks like they're not spending that much money, or either because they're still hurting. So that's why Walmart is kind of seeing a revenue shortage of revenue, like about 5% from what it was from last year. But they're saying maybe perhaps the model is questionable. Maybe that model at one time that it made sense, and maybe perhaps that model might have to go through a major shift in order to actually start getting positive results from their business. But it's still Walmart. They're huge. They're all over the place. So but it was a kind of like interesting update that I found about Walmart. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was our market update, business headlines. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we actually are going to do a follow-up with Liberty Business Advisor with Mr. Gilbert Sonnet. He was on the show a few weeks ago, so he's actually kind enough to come and revisit and follow up with us. And plus, he actually ended up getting some calls from Afghanistan, so that was interesting. So we're going to actually find out what they talked about.
In French.
Yeah, in French, by the way, yes. So we'll be right back. Thank you so much.
This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook.
This is Business Advisors 101. So right now, actually, we're in the second segment of the program, and we're very glad to have Mr. Gilbert Sonnet. If you recall, he was on the show a few weeks ago. He's actually a Liberty Business Advisor agent, and has been working with Liberty Business Advisors for a few years. And so, without further ado, bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, madame.
Do you have a few things to say to our viewers in French?
Bonsoir, et j'espère pouvoir être un bon échange ensemble.
Merci. So anyways, go ahead, Olive. Yeah.
Well, just because I know most of our viewers heard about Mr. Gilbert before, but we're going to go ahead and ask him again to briefly introduce yourself.
Okay, I was born in Paris long time ago, and I arrived in America 25 years ago, and gave me a good chance to open a restaurant. I opened 3 restaurants and a wholesale bakery, and I meet a lot of people, a lot of interesting people. It was a fantastic experience. And I sold them, and now I help people doing what I did 25 years ago.
25 years ago. You're being a good mentor for them.
Yeah.
That's great. So from the last time Gilbert was on our show, he actually got some phone calls from Afghanistan, and they had a conversation in French.
Wow.
Exactly.
How was that?
That was surprising because when I have somebody on the phone saying, "Oh, I've seen you on TV," and he's starting to speak French to me, I was really
impressed.
Really impressed, happy. No, because I know some people from Afghanistan before and so on.
That is awesome. So I know Gilbert was telling us earlier he was pretty excited coming to studio tonight. So tell us, how was your drive here?
Very fast, and
you look like the ice cream man, right?
Yeah.
So, one of the questions actually that we were supposed to ask. I mean, the calls that you got from Afghanistan, right? Exactly. Do you remember what the conversation was about? Because I think it'd be interesting to for our viewers to find out that that when people watch the show in Afghanistan as well, they had some questions about something to do with business, or was it more of a general kind of like because they would just like the fact that
you... Actually, he was not. He was from Afghanistan, but he lived here.
No.
And speaking French to me, and he was trying to open a restaurant, having a little restaurant. Then that's part of my job too, because a lot of person have a dream, and maybe it's not the right time. The budgeting, and we go over all of everything, and not make him feeling frustrated, saying you should wait a little bit more, having a little bit more money, because if you're going in and you will really maybe don't have so much chance to succeed right now.
Well,
he was really nice.
You're a good person to give them the right advice, because if somebody called us related to restaurant, we probably wouldn't know what advice to give them. So
yeah, it's very important, because it's some is all their saving, and I seen people spending a lot of money and really didn't succeed on it. One time I sold my restaurant, and when I sold my restaurant, I was not an agent at that time, and later on when I become an agent, I seen a person who want to sell his restaurant, and he spent a lot of money on it, and he was not able to recuperate his money, and he was somebody who want to buy my restaurant, and I didn't take him because he was not the right time for them, and they spend all their savings. Then it's risk, of course, but you can succeed if you budget it, if you really want to do it, and knowing what is needed to do it. But it's fun, it's great. Me, it was the same. I learned a lot, and I fail, I'll go up, fail, go up, but at the end I end up with 3 restaurants and other places. Then I was fine. You
were fine. So
yeah.
I'm looking at it from a historical perspective, because when I was a little boy in Kabul, and I went to school. It was a French kind of standard school, because it was called Istiqlal. So it was one of the better schools in Kabul. And I always felt like, from what I'm reading, it seems like France always had close ties with Afghanistan. And how do you think the French people see the Afghans? And if you could share maybe your views, I think that would be interesting for our viewers.
Yeah. Me, I think is village. You know, being a family base and village living together. Not the big city and so on, but you know, in France is thousands of villages. Then the majority is not Paris.
Paris is a different story.
You know, Paris for me, it's a museum. Okay, it's no Parisian anymore. You see, they are in America, like me.
They left.
Yeah, it's no more Parisian really. But villages and the family, base as a family, that's, you know, we will always share this with anybody. That's the reason one of the things the French do, and me, I agree with that, is they build school. Because like this, everybody can have his choice and having a chance to have information and collect and know how to proceed. And it's very important. Creating school is what is the best for everything. And the French, they are doing this actually, you know, that's fine.
That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. But then, no, actually, I was kind of interested because it seems like France always somehow was very much vested in Afghanistan from way back. When you look back at the history, and so it's and they're still, I think, somehow involved, so all of you have, I think,
I do.
Next question.
I'm thinking of spending time with Gilbert talking about France and Afghanistan. You know, there's a lot of topics we could cover, but let's go talk about Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, and tell us a little bit about the current listing that you have.
You know, me, my experience mostly is on a restaurant, but a business is a business. And I took a listing. It's a friend of me who have a mechanic shop in Berkeley. And he have it for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And is ready to retire, you know. Me, you know, semi-retired like me, but he want to sell. And it's a safe place, nice, not far away from the bar. The people can bring their car and go on the bar, because sometimes it's hard, you know, you don't know what to do. You bring your car and you wait for hours or what, you know. And it's big, it's pretty big, it's but very reasonable. Is 6,000 square feet. Ooh. But for dimension, you know, sometimes a small restaurant or a small place, you have to walk yourself. The art of any business is how you can delegate. Sometimes with your family or with your employees, but the art is to delegate. And him, on that mechanic shop, they have 6 lifts, 10 stations, and so on. And they are doing. He's doing fine.
How long has this location been there?
30 years.
Oh, wow. It's established.
Yeah. And they've been 2 partners. And one of the reasons is they've been 2 partners, and one of the partners got really sick. Then the remaining partners stay, have it all by himself, which is fine. Then he went a little, he removed some of the mechanic person because he didn't need so much. He's not 2 partners, he's only 1 now. But you know, he's ready. He want to retire.
Yeah,
what's the asking price for this business?
Is $245.
$245.
They're doing $600K more, and they're doing. And before, when they were 2 partners, they were doing million something. They were, you know, they are known and pretty nicely set up. It's 265. I'm sorry. And is $120,000 equipment, you know, inside.
On top of
inside.
It's already, is that included with the price?
Included on the price.
Okay, so the inventory and everything else comes with it.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So if our viewers are interested, they know how to contact Gilbert. His information is on the bottom of the screen. go ahead and contact them if they're interested. But, you know, earlier me and Barmal were talking about the market. So how is the market doing, and do you see more activities? We always talk about that. Sometimes it feels like being on this show, the calls that we get, seems like there appears to be more buyers in the market than sellers. What do you think?
Oh, it's during the year it's up and down. You never know. Of course, buyers for a certain period of time they're looking, but you know, it's always a good time for is always some places or you know opportunity to do you know on all the research, and it's easy for somebody who really wants to involve himself on the business they want to do. Seller is the same way. That's the reason Liberty Business Advisor, they are pretty nice on it. They really can help the seller and help the buyer on a right way, because it's, you know, everybody get lost a little bit. How much I will sell my business, how much is, you know, and the value of it, and the demand, the buyer is the same. I want to do this, but I don't know where, or I don't know how to budget, I don't know what will be involved, and the step. Also, for a person who already have one, who want to grow, that's also a second step. I remember when I have only one place, one restaurant, and I take another one. That is completely different strategy, and the third one was very easy. But from one place to a second place, it's another way of doing the business. That's you know, and we do you know, that we are here for that.
You have to just basically, you have to mold yourself, you have to be flexible, and you have to adapt to your new environment. So what worked in a previous restaurant setting, it doesn't mean it's going to work in the new setting. It could be a totally two different business in terms of restaurant, or it could be in a different location. Your clientele could be different. So one could be high-end, one could be just for anybody, you know. So it just depends. One of the things that I found out was also another listing that I wanted to briefly talk about. It's a gas station, and actually PJ, our friend, passed this information. It is in the Walnut Creek, Lafayette area. It's for $425K. But basically, this gas station has been around for many years, and it's a very good location. It's bringing about $7,000 from rent from the mechanic shop, $5,000 on the average from the propane gas that they sell, and about $10,000 something roughly from the gas that they sell, because apparently they sell about 40 or 45,000 gallons of gas. On a monthly basis, so and $2,000 roughly from the food mart. So based on what the seller is claiming, this business is grossing about $26,000 a month, netting roughly about $20,000 or so, based on what the seller is saying. So another opportunity for our viewers, if they're interested in purchasing a gas station, this is in the Lafayette Walnut Creek area, in a very location. So Gilbert, actually, any quick tips, and then your closing remarks?
Quick tips. If you really want to go on a business, give you a good shot on it. Do it. Don't have it only on your head. Is different step, and we are here in Liberty Business Advisor. Me, when I sell a business, I always follow up. I always looking with the buyer and giving a lot of tips, and to make sure that he's successful. And he become my client, and he's talking to his friend, he's talking to other person who want to do it. That's how you build your reputation.
So basically, once they become your client, they're your clients for a long time.
Yeah, Exactly. I have people years after I sold the business, they call me back and so on, and I have my friend here, he want to do this, to do that, and then that's the reason. That's my motivation, my own motivation.
That tells you you're doing your job all right.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, it's an enjoyment. It will be boring simply to how much money do you have? Oh, it's selling and having just commission. Me, I'm on the business, and I love it.
Good relationship.
And if I want to reach the people who love it too and want to do it, have a little passion on it.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you, Gilbert. Once again, we're going to share your information. Gilbert's number is 925-297-7504, or you can reach at lbaweb.com. That's the website for Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco. Once again, it's lbaweb.com. So Gilbert, thank you so much for being on the show again, and hopefully we'll see you soon again. And we really enjoyed your conversation. Hopefully you'll get some more calls. And then
I'm here.
You're here. And then you can come back and share that information with us again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And thank you for the
Absolutely.
person who listened to us.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we're actually going to be talking to Dr. Raj Salwan. He's the Fremont Councilman, and so we're very delighted to actually have him on the show, and he's going to discuss a few of the initiatives from the city of Fremont in regards to small businesses and entrepreneurs, and how we can work together to actually have a better, a better connection with the city of Fremont. So anyways, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to speak to Dr. Raj. Thank you.
This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Business Advisors 101. Now we're in the third segment of the show. We're very delighted to have our next guest, Dr. Raj Salwan. He's been a city councilman for the city of Fremont, a successful small business owner, a husband, and a proud father. He's also been on the boards and volunteering for organizations dedicated to helping seniors, children, workers, and employers. Council member Salwan has focused his time on the city council to recruit new businesses to Fremont, ensure that existing businesses grow their companies here. He has worked to use the city's economic tools, such as tax exemptions, to keep Fremont an attractive city for employers and I assume for investors as so. So anyway, Dr. Raj, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
And as far as I know, knowing Dr. Raj for all these years, I run into him to different events. And when I met him today, I'm like, wait a minute, I do know Dr. Raj. And I know he has also been put a lot of time with the nonprofit organization, and one of them I'm a witness myself, Kidengo. He was your board member, right? You
Yes.
still are. Okay. So you wanna introduce yourself and tell our viewers yourself in your
Sure.
own words about what you're doing.
So my name is Raj Salwan. I'm a council member at the city of Fremont. I grew up here in Fremont, California. Proud of this great city that I grew up in. I'm one of 5 city council members in Fremont, and I've been in this capacity for 1.5 years. Before that, for 7.5 years, I was on various city commissions, Chamber of Commerce, nonprofit boards such as Kidengo and Abode Services, and various other capacities. I don't want to bore you with all the details, but I've grown from the bottom up. So I worked my way to my position now, and I feel like I've got a good balanced perspective of what this city needs to keep moving forward.
Dr. Raj, one of the questions I have for you, what brought you to politics and public services?
Having growing up in Fremont, my family was always very involved in the community. My parents always helped community members. Through these community meetings, I met our mayor, former mayor, Bob Wasserman. He was a good man. And he took a liking to me, and he asked me to join the Fremont Human Relations Commission. And this commission helped increase diversity, it reduced hate crimes, it helped foster good relationships between the various community groups that represent Fremont. So once I got on that, he said that I was, balanced, and I was easy to work with, and I was able to get a few things done from my business experience. And so I got promoted to the Planning Commission. I also had the opportunity to be on the Fremont Chamber of Commerce. I was the chairman. I helped elevate economic development in Fremont. And so it gave me a great platform, great role to be able to help our residents and be more effective.
I was about to ask you, what is it so important to you to be so involved in the community? But I think I know. You're doing such a good job with our mayor, Bill Harrison, also. But I see how involved you are and how wonderful you're doing, that you're attracting a lot of people from different places. But if you want to tell us, why is it so important to you?
Well, when I first started, I was a business person, so I had no interest to be in politics. But somehow, I got involved, and I thought I could be effective. Some of the ideas I came up with, nobody had thought of before. And I really think that's part of my experience being here, also my upbringing, my ethnic background, and my approach to Fremont. Fremont has changed a lot, and I think that we need to represent the new Fremont, which represents all segments of our community, which includes Indo-Americans, includes Afghans, includes Pakistani, the whole South Asians, Chinese Americans, and various communities that come here to be a part of Fremont. And so I truly believe that we need to make sure everybody's involved, and it's a teamwork going forward.
What is the priority number one for the city of Fremont when it comes to the initiatives dealing with small businesses and entrepreneurs?
Well, so me personally, economic development is my passion. I truly believe that when the city does well, everybody does well. So, for example, creating jobs is one way that we want to do that. So when we create jobs, it brings people to Fremont. When people come to Fremont, they go to our restaurants, they go to our retail, they go to our stores and entertainment, and that brings sales tax to our city. When we get sales tax, that helps fund our services, our police, our fire, parks, senior services. So I for one, really push the economic development aspect. I think that's most important. Two other things that I personally like is, one is public safety. Make sure we have enough police and fire to protect our large city, and also to make sure that our quality of life for all of our residents is very high and everybody feels welcome, and we champion the diversity that we have in Fremont.
And going back to the question of supporting entrepreneurs and startups within each community, why is it important for established businesses to support those type of entities, the entrepreneurs and the startups in each community?
Well, businesses are the lifeline of any city. So when you have a strong business environment, a strong business culture, and a city government that values businesses and makes it easier for them to do business, it makes businesses thrive. So when businesses thrive, again, they expand in Fremont, they bring jobs to Fremont, and they, again, invite more people to come to Fremont. So when we create jobs, it boosts our city's economic policies and generates revenue for our city.
Absolutely.
So,
what is currently, what project are you working on?
well, we have several projects, but the two biggest ones that we have, one is we have the downtown, which is we're building a new downtown out of scratch.
All
And,
right.
yeah.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, so that's exciting, and that will be in downtown Fremont on Capitol Avenue, and so hopefully that will be kind of our Santana Row in Fremont.
All right. So
Yes.
how do we get our Afghans more involved?
I think we need to get African community more involved. I think they're a large segment of Fremont. I for one love Afghan people. I grew up with many Afghan Americans, and I think that a lot of times we get busy in our day-to-day lives. So we're busy paying the bills and working and taking our kids where they need to go. And so we get so bogged down that we forget that we're a part of a bigger network. And so I think that we need to, I would encourage all African Americans to get involved and make sure that, they represent themselves, get to know their neighbors, get involved in local nonprofits or groups. And more importantly, they should vote. It's very important that African community get more involved so that they have a seat at the table.
Just to let you know, I did vote.
Did you? Okay, good.
Yes, it's important to vote. And as Raj is talking about more businesses being involved, we are going to organize business mixers, and we are going to talk about it on our show, and hopefully we get more businesses involved. And is this an important community, and why? Afghan community talking about?
Yeah, I think when you talk to most folks, Fremont has become a base for the African American community, and I think that we need to own that. We need to embrace that. They're absolutely a great community, and they need to be part of the decision making. So I would love to see the African community more involved, and anything I can do personally to help mentor the young folks or get more people involved, I love to do that.
I think our viewers, actually some of the viewers are probably aware of this, that it seems like we actually talked about it, that whether it's the Indian community or the Pakistani community or the Afghans, it seems like somehow we're still kind of lackadaisical when it comes to getting involved in the political aspects of our communities, because at the end of the day, politics kind of start from the local level, and then it just kind of goes all the way up. So if we're involved on the local level and we have better representation, then what that means is because we could hold our politicians accountable. And basically, if we're trying to achieve something, we better have close ties with our politicians, and this way they're going to listen to us. So whether it's an initiative that the Afghan community has for Fremont, it will eventually be, they have to listen to us. And a show like this allows individuals like yourself to come in and share your story, but also be a voice for the community to see that, that yes, we are invested in this community. We do care about politics. We do care about votings. We do care about issues. We do care about small business initiatives, about entrepreneurs and all of this stuff. So even though you discussed about your accomplishments and what you're doing right now, Dr. Raj, what are some of the future aspirations you have for yourself?
Well, I don't like to make arbitrary goals for myself, but I think for me personally, as long as I'm accomplishing things, I'm more into executing, getting stuff done. So as long as I'm getting stuff done, I want to continue in the role that I am. I truly believe that it's a privilege to be able to serve in local government. I feel like I'm making a difference. I think I'm improving the business process here in the city of Fremont. So as long as I can continue this role, I'm happy. If new opportunities present themselves, we'll have to see at the time, depending on where I am in my stage of my life. But at least for the 10 years, that's a long enough time for me to put my mark in Fremont and make sure that we accomplish a lot.
And so coming back to the show, now you're being on the show, you realize exactly what we're trying to accomplish. Why is it this show an important a platform for someone like yourself to be involved with, and also how can the city of Fremont and the likes of like yourself can help the show basically in terms of achieving its goals?
Well, I think you are the voice of the African American community, and I was introduced to you from one of my friends. I always want to get more involved with the African community.
And let's mention the name.
Yes, Leima Tabibi.
Yes,
Leima is a great person.
Yes.
I've gotten to know her over the last couple of years, and so I said, hey, Leima, I would like to get more involved, and how can I get in touch? And so she introduced me to both of you. I've really enjoyed getting to know both of you. I think you're doing a great job. You're serving a good niche. I think business is something that crosses all boundaries, and it's a global phenomena. And I think that shows like yourself elevate the dialogue. They get people talking. They get politicians like myself out to get to know the community and to meet folks. And hopefully we'll have others come here as well. So I think the first thing is to start the dialogue.
Sure.
I'm sure some people will think about what we're talking about and maybe they'll get more involved. And also I can't stop without saying today is the last day to register to vote. So if you want to vote in this primary, make sure you do that. Register by tonight midnight.
By midnight, so okay.
Yes.
And then also just for our viewers, as you see, we have information for Dr. Raj Salwan. His email address is salwanforfremont@gmail.com. So once again, it's SALWAN for FOR Fremont, FREMONT@gmail.com. His website is www.ragsalwan.com, rajsalwan.com, and the address is 37177 Fremont Boulevard, California. And in case if you need to reach out, or you can call us on the other number, 925-270-5254. If you have any other questions for Dr. Raj Salwan, he will go ahead and pass that information as well to him. Your closing remarks, Dr. Raj, if you don't mind, and then hopefully, as I said, we're looking forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks. And then we're also on the verge of interviewing the mayor of Fremont and some other politicians as well. So please go ahead.
Well, thank you for an opportunity to connect with you and the viewers at home and all over the world. You know, I truly want to work with the Afghan community. Anything I can ever do, I will always do. I'm a worker, and I believe in getting things done. That has been my track record up till now. I want to continue to do that. I want to make sure we make the Afghan community part of our narrative in Fremont. We want to make sure that their story is told. They have a great story to tell about the struggles they've gone through and the difficulties that they've gone through. And the American community can learn a lot from all the good work that they're doing. I want to champion the Afghan community and make sure they're an integral part of Fremont going forward. I thank you again for the opportunity, and I look forward to many years of success.
Thank you.
And I look forward to bringing my council colleagues and other politicians to talk to you and your viewers so that we can continue to elevate the dialogue.
Perhaps
Thank you so much.
we're going to do some interviews from the city council location. So we're really looking forward to this partnership. As I said, it's all about networking. It's all about helping each other. It's about believing in each other. And we really appreciate your time and being on the show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to vote, as the councilman said, by midnight tonight, right?
Yes.
12. So you still have time. So go ahead and please vote. So, ladies and gentlemen, actually, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, actually, we're going to give you an update on Panah Foundation and their involvement in the crisis that happened in Badakashan a few weeks ago, and so we're going to get an update from them and also share a brand new clip that they were kind enough to share with us. It's about 7 minutes. So after this break, we're going to talk briefly about Panah Foundation, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
This is the ultimate question for you. Are you ready to be your own boss and achieve your dreams? Liberty Business Advisors of San Francisco, Inc. is a full-service business consulting and brokerage firm specializing in small to medium-sized businesses. At Liberty Business Advisors, our professionals include lawyers, accountants, realtors who have years of experience in selling and marketing business opportunities. Call Business Advisors for free consultation if you're thinking about selling or planning buying a new business. Call us at 925-932-2450. Visit us on our website, lbaweb.com, or follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to the show. We're in the final segment of the show, and actually, Olive, you have some updates from our recent visit back to Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont, who's also a sponsor of the show. And so, Olive, you want to share a couple of things with us?
Yeah, I just want to say that during the week, myself and Barmal, we went to grand opening of the new Porsche at Fletcher Jones. Mr. Rahman Wahab, he is the manager, and it was a beautiful grand opening for the new Porsche. It was very nice. I love the car. And if you're interested in purchasing that new Porsche, they carried. And you could either contact Mr. Rahman Wahab or Ray Wahab, either one. It's the same person.
Yes.
Either his name is Ray or Rahman and Farsi Wahab, and their address is in 5760 Cushing Parkway, Fremont, California, and the number is 510-623-1111.
Yes, so basically, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a new Mercedes-Benz or a Porsche, so please go see Mr. Rahman Wahab. He's the general manager, and he's been there for a few years, and actually the event was very nice. We actually recorded the event, so we can actually show some of the footage on our next show, hopefully. And we did a couple of interviews as well. But we just want to make sure we remind the viewers that Fletcher Jones Motor Cars of Fremont, they have supported the show, and we really appreciate that, and plus they're supporting this segment as well. So without any further ado, let's get to the some serious topic here, which is the Panah Charity Foundation. A couple of weeks ago, we had Miss Roshana
Benish that came to our show, and as most of you know, it's very difficult to get to Badakashan. It hasn't been easy, and since last time Roshana was on our show, she did spoke about, since she already have people in that area, it was easier for them to get there, and they did send us some footage of the people that are there. And also she wanted to send her thank, because from the show that she was here, she was able to get some good response. Yeah,
actually she sent us an email, and we're very proud of it, both me and Olive, and actually she raised about $7,000 just from the show itself, from the viewers of the show. So we really want to thank the viewers for being involved in this process, and this is how it matters, because it just shows that when the community comes together, then we can definitely make a change. So she actually they sent over apparently about over $40,000 has been sent in terms of delivering emergency aid supplies, food, and clothing to the victims of Badakashan.
And we have to say that to thank Mr. Miskinyar himself, and also Wana and the whole team, everybody, like you said, as a community. I think it's the first time that we all got together, and it's still ongoing. I know Mr. Miskinyar and Wana, they're working on a event that they're having on June 1st in Orange County, right?
No, actually it's called the Phoenix Club in Los Angeles.
It's in Los Angeles. They're having another event, and the more the merrier. You know, there's more help needed, even not Badakashan, the cities around Badakashan. So it's a great way the community first time got together.
I think it's all a positive thing for the community, because it just shows, whether it's Ariana TV and the people that work at Ariana TV, that they've put a lot of their work into raising donations, or through our show and through Panah Foundation. So this is all good. It's all good for the community, and it just shows that how serious the situation was, because mainstream media totally ignored the Badakashan disaster. So it was up to it really on social media, and like the community itself coming together and trying to help.
The power of teamwork. So we got some good clips on how the help is being distributed in the areas.
So before we just want to say a couple of more things. So before we say our goodbyes, as I said, once again, we do appreciate you watching this show, and we just want to say, if you have any final thing, Olive.
If you want to watch some of our segments, we do have a page under Barmal Grants on YouTube. You could follow us, and also on Facebook. We have a Business Advisors 101. And I just want to, as my last remark, I have to say the beautiful city, Fremont, that we're living in, that's safe as far as community. And it's good to know who's putting the hard work behind it. And Dr. Raj is one of them. And hopefully in the next few weeks we could get our mayor, Mr. Bill Harrison, to come also and tell us the kind of work. And
some of the other congressmen as well. We're going to reach out for Eric Salwan and some of the other folks as well. So anyways, I just want to say thank you again. and we're going to say our good night. But after we say our good night, there's about a 7-minute clip from Panah Foundation, and I said they were kind enough to share this. This is just recently that we got the footage, so it just shows you the devastation and their involvement and what they have done. So we're really proud of this foundation. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show. So we're going to say our good night, and so we'll see you next week. But in the meantime, please watch this 7-minute clip from Panah Foundation. Thank you and good night.
ذلك بأنهم قوم لا يعقلون كمثل الذين من قبلهم قريبا ذاقوا وبال أمرهم ولهم عذاب أليم كمثل الشيطان إذ قال للإنسان اكفر فلما كفر قال إني بريء منك إني أخاف الله رب العالمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان اللهم اغفرهم وارحمهم واحشرهم في زمرة الصالحين وساكنهم في الجنة إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.
از هر ولایتی که باشن با مصیبت ما با غم شریکی ما ما آمدن سپاس گزار بنی آدم اعضای یک دیگرن ما اعضای شما اعضای ما با غذا و با ادعا وردیم ما گردی وردیم سپاسگزار شکر
حالا دیگه مریض داره؟
ayağım ağrıyor zaman hasta canım ağrıyor.
Puan gelmekle mi geçerim dermekine kılıcım.
Can derdesti.
Ayaklarım ağrıyor, bellerim ağrıyor.
بخیر موترم رسید.
همین موتر است؟
همین موتر است. همین موتر است. اند نوبت استاد هستم فقط.
این نمیونه الا نکنید
Aqui, né?